Hello everybody, my name is Walter, and this is episode 22 of my Redstone Components Series. In this episode I want to cover briefly the 1.20.5 update and a couple of things I missed in the previous episodes. So I'll start with a quick amendment to what I said way back in episode 10 when I was talking about normal and sticky pistons. Namely, the actual extension and retraction times for pistons are 3 game ticks and not 1 or 2 redstone ticks. It's basically in the middle of those. A good way to see this we now have with the tick command. So let me freeze time. Then I'm going to power this piston here, and you can see at the moment since time is frozen, nothing happens. If I give it 1 tick, you can see the block appears to be still in place, but it's no longer connected to the wire, and it also has no hitbox anymore. Then 1 game tick further, it's officially in motion, and then the 3rd game tick, it's back in place and reconnected to the wire. If I retract, you can see first game tick, it's in motion. Second game tick, it's in place, but still no game hitbox and also no connection. And then after the 3rd game tick, it's finally there where it belongs. So that is the actual timing of pistons and sticky pistons. Next up, 2 quick addenda to the last episode about the 1.20 update. The first is that I forgot to mention that normal signs can now also have text on the backside, similar to hanging signs. And the second is the signal output strength of a chiseled bookshelf actually depends on the last slot you interacted with. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I take out the 1, it stays at 1 officially. If I put in a 6, you can see it's up to 6. And if I now put 1 back, it's down to 1 again. And now it's time for the 1.20.5 update, also called the Armored Pause update. The first change I want to cover is that we have a new mob, the Armadillo, which should be around somewhere over here. Yeah, over there. This mob is, well, easily startled. So if you run around it or hit it or it sees an undead, it will roll up. In this rolled up state, it gets less damage than in the open up state. On the other hand, spiders and cave spiders are completely afraid of it and will run away from it, so it has some possible applications for mob sorters and similar. To breed it, you're going to need spider eyes, and as you can see, it's going to follow you if you hold one of those. The armadillo itself will also occasionally, every 5 to 10 minutes, roughly, let drop an armadillo scute, but you can also force this using a brush to get more of them, and this can also be automated using the dispenser. The scutes themselves can be used to craft and repair wolf armor, which is crafted in this pattern here, and can be applied to tamed wolves and will protect them from damage in their surroundings. The second change to mobs is that we now have 9 different variants of wolves which occur depending on the biome you're in. And also tamed wolves now are called tamed wolves. Additionally, there are also 4 new advancements for the wolves and the armadillos, which have to do with taming and the scutes and wolf armor. Finally, there are a couple of technical changes I would like to cover. The first is that hoppers no longer check the area above them if there is actually a full block right there. This has some potential drawbacks when it comes to certain types of item elevators, but for the most part, this is a great improvement to performance overall in the game. So even if you have lots of hoppers in your world, you should now see less lag. Furthermore, a new game rule was introduced which determines the size of your spawn chunk area. This is the spawn chunk radius. It defaults to 2 and can be set between 0 and 32. If it sets to 0, then you don't have any spawn chunks. If it sets to 32, then you have a lot of those. If you don't know, spawn chunks are permanently loaded, so you can build certain types of farms which run permanently even if no player is in the vicinity. And the last change is something that works a bit more in the background, but is extremely important for those who work on data packs or commands. And that is the NBT data has been reworked into so-called structured components. The syntax for structured components is very similar to block data, so you have the rectangular brackets and then equal signs in the middle between the name of the structured component and the actual values. Those values themselves can, depending on what component we're talking about, actually be again old school MBT data. So for example, custom data can be normal MBT data structure again. This permanently changes how certain commands work, or at least need to be written down, like the give command, item, loot, clear, set block, fill, and so on and so on. Which also means that many maps that use commands and data packs have broken since the 1.20.5 update and will have to be updated soon. I'm also pretty sure that many of the commands I've used in this map here are also no longer working properly. And with that, we've reached the end of this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. I wish you a nice day and, well, see ya.